Okay, thanks again, everybody. Hope everyone's having a great day so far. We've got a mad rush of people still joining us, so we'll give it another minute or so. Um, I'm online today with Lee Heron, who's one of our technical specialists focused on DriveWorks, and our focus today is how to increase sales by leveraging SolidWorks data and DriveWorks. The one thing that I'd like to say, kind of before we get started, is that these sessions do get recorded. It'll get posted on YouTube along with several of the other webinars we've done, and we'd be grateful if you shared this information with some of the other people on your team. There's a lot of relevance and could help someone who's responsible for another aspect of your business. So why don't we get started? And so thanks again. Hopefully everybody's having a great day so far. We appreciate you taking the time to join us. We've got some really good content. I will be going fairly quickly because we like to get this in and get you back and working. But the one thing I would say is if there's any questions that you have, we do have a questions and answer session at the end of the webinar, and our contact details will be made available. So if you wanted to have a discussion at some other time, or if you want to have a physical meeting, we'd be glad to engage with you. So, as I said, we're going to focus on how to increase sales by leveraging your SolidWorks data and DriveWorks. I'm going to get into that a little bit more. This is our agenda. It looks like there's a lot of things to talk about, and there certainly are, but we're going to try to focus as much on the looking at DriveWorks as opposed to listening to PowerPoints. So, like I said, I'm going to do my very best to go through this as fast as possible. So we're going to talk about CPQ and some customer stories, as well as take a look at the software in several different applications, talk about how it connects with other systems within your business, and some of the amazing things that are coming up that this technology will enable you to do. As I said, I'll be delivering, my name is John Mignardi, I'll be delivering the main presentation, and I'll be supported by Lee Heron, who's one of our dedicated technical specialists in DriveWorks. And Lee is quite busy working with a lot of our customers, getting them trained and providing mentoring and project services. Does an awesome job for us, and I head up the sales for the team. So we've got a lot of experience with SolidWorks, a lot of experience with DriveWorks, and so Lee is going to be joining us in a couple of moments. I want to say hello, Lee.
Hello.
All right.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, one of the things you'll notice on the presentation is that the images kind of tell the story of what DriveWorks is capable of doing. And what CPQ is all about. So as you'll see, whether it's the cupboards or the cabinets or the guarding system, all those tell the story of how to build the same as but slightly different in a very efficient manner, which is the driving mantra for DriveWorks, and why most of our customers who design those type of products gravitate towards that solution. Just a little bit of an introduction about Javelin. We've been in business a little over 20 years, since 1997. We have a large number of employees, large number of customers, both in education and the commercial marketplace. We carry all the SolidWorks product line, the suite of products, and partner applications like DriveWorks, as well as 3D printers. So we are a highly qualified and experienced group of people. We have 6 locations across Canada, and for DriveWorks and some of our other services groups, we do perform services in the US, and we actually, the DriveWorks team has a customer in the UK, so pretty proud of that. That's a real quick introduction to Javelin. In terms of DriveWorks, the company, so DriveWorks is the platform. It's the name of the software add-in for SolidWorks that enables the automation and CPQ functionality. But in terms of the company, they used to be a SolidWorks reseller in the UK, and they started writing all these automation programs based on Excel back in 2001, and felt the need, or saw the need, to build a platform which they've developed considerably since then. And as a matter of fact, some of the functionality of DriveWorks is included in every license of SolidWorks, so you can start using it today. It is fairly limited, but I think it'll give you a good idea of some of the benefits that you can gain by using even that level of technology. So it's the only automation platform or third-party code that's in SolidWorks. They are a gold partner, which means they follow through on all the new releases, and by contract are required to keep up with the folks at SolidWorks, who are very proficient at upgrading the software every year. And they have a global customer base, so it's this software is sold all around the world. Now, Javelin has been selling DriveWorks since 2004, and we have a dedicated team focused on DriveWorks and automation, and Lee is one of our application experts. We've got two other fellows who provide DriveWorks services, training, and support, but we also have capabilities to custom program other applications. So here are 4 applications that we've written that were based on programming rather than DriveWorks, that automate tasks associated with plant layout, developing pool liners, solar panel layouts, rooftop layouts, as well as planograms for store layouts. So as I said, we've got expertise both in DriveWorks and in automation projects, so we've got you covered from all angles. So last year I started asking people, do you CPQ? And a lot of people told me, what the H is CPQ? And so CPQ is another acronym that we hear fairly commonly. It refers to configure, price, quote. So it's the ability to configure a product based on rules so that you can customize for size, accessories, options, and other features of a product, and integrate with corporate or enterprise systems like ERP and costing systems, so that you can quickly establish the price to manufacture the product, and then to quickly generate a quote for that product. So CPQ is typically referred to systems not unlike ordering a t-shirt online, or ordering a pizza online, or even buying a car. So the ability to quickly design a variant or create a new variant based on rules, and having the ability to generate the quote within a short amount of time. Now, one of the things about CPQ, I'm just going to kind of show this up for a second. One of the things about CPQ is that it's all meant to be done within a short amount of time, but the one dimension that DriveWorks adds is the ability to generate other documents. So it doesn't stop at the quoting process. It extends a significant way further. So a lot of times I refer to it as CQP, so configure, quote the customer, and then produce all the products based on drawings and other documentation that you create. So so you'll see that in a second, a few seconds first when we start showing some of the presentations. Now, who needs CPQ? Who needs a package like DriveWorks? So if your company is unable to meet quote deadlines, and the one thing I've noticed, oh, I should have mentioned, so I sold my first license of DriveWorks in 2007, and we have set this team up focused on DriveWorks and DriveWorks alone since 2015. So we've been at it almost 3 years, and One thing that I've learned in talking about DriveWorks and talking to customers about configurators and quoting is that the speed of the quote as well as the accuracy is super important. So fast quotes, very important. I hear that all the time. A lot of our customers are losing market share, or the people that we talk to are losing market share because they don't have time to create new products. They're spending time creating models and drawings for other variants or other configurations of the same product. And they need to support, so if your customer needs to support or want to enable sales growth through design requirements, very important. We'll touch on that in a few moments. From a customer perspective, are they expecting custom products at standard prices? Hear that all the time. Salesmen specifying products or variants or configurations that can't be made. Again, very common as well. I talk to a lot of companies that seem to have one or two key people that all the knowledge, all the rules are in their head, and if those guys take vacation or girls take vacations, you know, the company's in trouble. So, and again, we also talked to a lot of people that are developing their own automation through automation programming or through Excel, and so these are the type of signals that a company does need DriveWorks. Now, we've kind of extended that. So when I have a discussion, or Lee, or if any of our folks have discussions with companies, when we hear these statements, these are major red flags for us, and it'll become evident when we start showing the application why that's the case. So we've seen a lot of companies that quote through Excel spreadsheets, and I wrote a blog article on how these spreadsheets over time get different names and get edited by different people and for different events or price changes or adding a new model, or just control of pricing spreadsheets are a challenge. Lee, do you want to chime in on that one?
Yeah, it's something we see quite a bit. People, you just can't control it. It's ultimately a file, so anybody can copy it, anybody can make their own version. We often see things like, master quote 1, master quote 2, master quote latest edition 1, latest edition. It just goes on and on and on and on. And then by the time, years pass, nobody really knows which one is the most up-to-date one. And at that point, you're kind of back to, what's trustworthy and what's the right price. And that's just not a good place to be.
Exactly. Plus, a lot of those systems are static, so you don't have the benefit of price updates that are managed for you offline. So there's always some maintenance involved with those types of systems. We also talk to a lot of people that use design tables, which are great, but once you start getting over a couple of hundred in a specific file, they get to be very challenging in operation. A lot of companies use VB programming, but even that is powerful, but there are some limits. It's been our experience that an application that may have been done several years ago needs to be updated. The original author of that has left the company, and some companies, they'll just basically start all over again. So rather than editing a program that has to be deciphered, thousands and thousands and tens and thousands of lines of code, a lot of times companies decide to restart, and so those could be an issue. So yeah, these are some of the things that if these are things that you are representative of comments that reflect an aspect of your business, then it's probably a good idea that we talk. And I think you're in the right place and are going to see some amazing things. Real quick customer stories. My first customer is Thornton Bearings. They sell bearing assemblies for large ships. Very green, very environmentally friendly. Ships can be found all over the world, and they needed a system that allowed them to support their inside salespeople and their dealers all across the world. You know, it was, you know, quite common that someone had to go out to one of these sites where the boat was located, take measurements, come back. So you got a lot of travel that can be involved, or other projects got in the way. And but with this system, people are able to go online, enter the values of each of the parameters for that particular requirement, and they've been able to reduce days of work down to about 6 to 11 minutes. They produce all their documents all at once, so whether it's quotes or drawings or models or NC programming for machining of their parts. We've built the system. We built the system for them, and we integrate DriveWorks with their enterprise systems for CRM, ERP, PDM, and manufacturing. So the one nice thing about DriveWorks is it's very, very capable of being connected to other systems, which is very important. And in this case, we're connected to a lot of different aspects of their business, automating a lot of tasks. One other customer success story I'd like to share is Blue Giant. They've had DriveWorks probably for about 8 or 9 years, and this will give you an idea of some of the dock seals and dock levelers, that equipment that they make. They've got a full-time staff of people that are doing DriveWorks for all of their products. About 80% of all their projects run through DriveWorks, and of the 20% that do not get completed in DriveWorks, they're started in DriveWorks and then finished off manually for whatever customization is needed. They told us that they were able to reduce the time and effort to create both drawings and quotes reduced by about 90%, and 100% of the drawing errors that they find are as a result of the manual tasks as opposed to what comes out of DriveWorks, as that is all 100% correct. So great customer of ours, and are thriving with their business with the use of DriveWorks. So those are two applications. This picture is actually part of a website that shows a lot of different configurators and some of the types of products that you can refer to as same as but slightly different. And we'll show you a couple of these applications a little bit later on. I know that there are a couple of you that are in here, that a couple of conveyor folks. I think there's a trailer manufacturer here, and someone that's doing, a couple that are doing furniture. So there are some applications, and we're going to show the furniture application a little later on. So most, if not all of you, are using SolidWorks right now. So as I said before, if you have SolidWorks, you already have some of DriveWorks functionality within your SolidWorks license. It's referred to as DriveWorks Express. You can activate it. It has limited functionality. If you look at the interface or the image here, you'll see that there's an interface panel that you can enter some values. You have some pull-down lists. It's very static. You can't really connect it to anything for pricing or for generating quotes. It's simply just enter parameters and automate models and drawings. So it's good for what it does, and some companies have used it quite extensively. But we like to have people start their automation projects if they're really serious about it, and it's very important. We recommend the next level of DriveWorks called DriveWorks Solo. Now, this version of DriveWorks Solo also works inside of SolidWorks, has much more functionality and controls, and features like the rules builder, which Lee's going to show in a bit, is closer to the higher functional levels of DriveWorks, and just that aspect alone will save you the cost of DriveWorks Solo if you're serious about getting into the technology. So let me change over to Lee to give you a quick overview of DriveWorks Solo.
Okay, so all right. Hi everybody. So DriveWorks Solo, like we mentioned, it operates inside of SolidWorks. So right here on the side panel is DriveWorks Solo. It's an add-in just like some of the other panels over here. And what it allows you to do, we're first going to run it, and then we'll look at some of the features inside of quickly how you build it. So the biggest thing that DriveWorks Express gives you as far as looks go is much more functional forms. So you're able to have drop-down lists, you can pick from tables, right? So now you can pull in some customer data and you can get a little bit smarter about some of your rules. You can also build form flows, which allow people to make different choices, and we have some graphics here that help people, get an idea of what they're picking. We're also able to make our rules a bit more intelligent. So you can see here, I have a min and a max. And if I try to put in here, say 35.5, it'll go down to 3,000. So now I'm error checking in real time and not allowing people to enter bad values. So it never gets to the stage of, oops, we sold something we can't make. We're doing that check in real time, excuse me. We also have some drop downs is another one. And again, different types of controls. So I'm going to go through here, right? I've got to go through and do a bunch of sections. We have some information here at the end. We can have hyperlinks to take people to different sections. And we can also preview our models before we finalize the generation. So if I hit preview here, it's going to go ahead right now and it's going to build each of those individual conveyor sections and show it to me on the screen. So we'll just take a moment here.
So if you look at the bottom right-hand side of your screen, you'll see that that's DriveWorks actually opening up SolidWorks, entering the values that Lee has just put into those fields, and popping them into SolidWorks. And he referred to DriveWorks Express, but this is functionality that's available in Solo, the availability to put data and start using it.
Right, so here's my conveyor, right? So I've got it pre-built right there, but now I can go back and let's say I need the length of the last one to be, let's say 2,500. I can enter that in and do preview again, and it will go back and modify those pieces. And it's only modifying the models that need to be changed. And in a few moments, I'll have an update. So I'm able to actually see what I'm doing, tweak it, modify it, measure it, and all the tools that are available to me in SolidWorks are available here. So if I wanted to measure, what's the distance between, this face and this edge, I'm able to do all of that stuff just as I would with a normal SolidWorks model. Once I'm happy with it, I can then go ahead and do the finalize where I will get the drawings now. We're not just getting models, we're getting the full drawings, and we'll also get some documents for quote and BOM as well. So we'll go ahead and we'll finalize that. And now it's going to start the drawings here in a second, and you'll start to see the drawings whiz across the screen as they make them one by one. So these can be really good. These are not just sales drawings. They can be your manufacturing drawings, your laser cutting drawings, your fitting drawings. Anything that you can do in a SolidWorks drawing, you can have DriveWorks produce for you as well. So here come the drawings. And you can see it's resizing, it's inserting the new models, it's resizing the views, moving any balloons around that need to be moved, and then creating the drawing files in our new location with our names. And you can see the custom properties are also being filled out as well. So that metadata that's going to travel through the different business systems of your company, right? Because once you do a quote and it becomes an order, it goes into PDM, and once it goes into PDM, it goes into the ERP. All of that information can now be driven straight in. You can go and check out our documents. Here's our bill of material, right? And these are customizable to your company. These are XML documents, so they're really lightweight. That's the only format that's available in Solo, but it's enough to get the job done, right? We can check out a quotation. Right? All of these rules are built based on what I configured. So you can see there's my 3000 long. There's the one I did that was 2500 millimeters long, right? So all those values get passed in based on rules. So we've been talking a lot about rules up till now. And what do we mean by rules? And this is really the really, I would say, beneficiary part of Solo. This is the thing that's worth paying for. And that is having the more advanced rules. So not only can I create more advanced forms and I can make decisions. So if I pick something, I go to one form. If I pick something else, it takes me to another, so on. I can use my rules to build more advanced forms, like we mentioned. But let's take a look at the hallmark of it, which is the rule builder. So this is the almighty rule builder. This is the thing that puts it, a light year beyond Excel. This is the thing that gives you access to not just building rules. So let's see what rules we can build. We have a whole host of rules in here that we can search through. Pretty much everything that you see in Excel, plus a lot more things that DriveWorks has built custom for us, right? So if we want to look at a VLOOKUP, there's our VLOOKUP. If we engaged it, the rule builder is actually going to walk us through the steps, and we just have to answer the questions. What are we looking up? What table are we looking in? What column do we want to get back? So on, so on, and so on. And this isn't just for the VLOOKUPs. This is for every single rule that's in DriveWorks. You're able to have a rule builder to help guide you through it. So you really don't need to know programming to set this up. You just need to know more or less how to answer questions and probably just how to understand formulas like you would see in Excel. Everything that you see in here is a formula that you could write in Excel for the most part. So the other nice thing too is it gives you some troubleshooting, so we get to break down the steps we're taking. We can also start to drill down through the different rules if we're having trouble. So this is great for troubleshooting your projects, right? This is very good for troubleshooting projects. It also keeps track of the history and the comments for us in real time as well. So if we make a change and we're playing with something, we're able to go back and actually see what's happening and see what's happening. And if we messed up, we can bring the old one back without any problems, right? So this is a really great tool. Solo's primary advantage, I think, is the tables. A lot of data we interact with in life is tabular in nature. So, it makes sense that we can bring these tables in, and that's a real benefit for Solo. You also get the use of variables and the advanced forms as well. This interface, as you're going to see in a second when we take a peek at Pro, this interface is really very similar to the Pro one, and that's what makes Solo the much better starting point for upgrading later on. It's much easier to upgrade, to Pro from Solo. So let's look at one other really cool beneficiary thing that Solo can do that actually is not available in Pro. So I gotta go to Conveyor 2. Okay, so I gotta make a new assembly here. All right. And I'm going to save this assembly. All right, so this is, we'll call it a test assembly. So what I can actually do is, if I had multiple projects, I can run them in what's called layout mode. So I can actually go through, and let's just do some quick conveyors here. All right, so I'm going to hit OK on this, and I'm actually going to go through here, and I'm going to be able to put multiple projects into a SolidWorks assembly that are sort of sitting static. So there's one of them, right? And I'm able to go in and grab the top plane here, and I can mate it, right? Right, and now if I wanted to bring in a second conveyor, right, down here in my run, I can go in, right, and I can run another conveyor. So maybe this time I want to do one of these bigger ones that's got a curve. This time I want it to be, I don't know. Well, let's just say I wanted to leave it like that because I don't want to change the width of the conveyor. So I'll do another conveyor. And they're all live, right? That's the beautiful part about these. They're all live in here. So if I came in here and I wanted to grab this guy and bring it up and made it to the back of this guy. Just give me a moment here to find my planes. Oh, actually, oops. Yep, move here. Okay, so let's take that one. And right, so I'm able to actually start to build an assembly right off of my other planes here. Okay, now if I wanted to go back, I'll just demonstrate this really quick. If I wanted to go back into this previous conveyor and edit it, let's go back. So let's say I wanted to make this one now 3,000. You'll see that this end conveyor here, this conveyor right here in the middle is going to be updated without actually affecting anything else, which is really neat. So this is a really cool thing. It allows you to build a lot of smaller projects and start to utilize them together to build bigger assemblies. And this is one of the ways that if you happen to have a product that you can't actually fully automate, then you can actually start to automate smaller chunks and use them together inside your assemblies in real time. So that's a kind of a neat thing. Now I think we're ready to go on to Pro. I don't know if John, you wanted to talk about Pro first.
Yeah, let me take that.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so as we mentioned, DriveWorks is a scalable product. So we started with DriveWorks Solo, which is basically just drawings and models. We showed DriveWorks, did I say Express? It's DriveWorks Express. DriveWorks Solo is the next level up that allows you to do components, assemblies, drawings, utilize your lists for pricing or bills of materials or pre-calculations, and the rules builder, which is it's worth the price of Solo if you get serious about the technology. We also want to make sure that you knew that there was a 30-day free trial that is supported by Javelin. So if you had a specific project, a small project that you wanted to try DriveWorks out for, we gladly help you out, and the application is for free for 30 days. So in terms of DriveWorks Pro, which is the next level up, the DriveWorks Pro gives you much more functionality, much more controls, and a higher level of automation. It also allows you to integrate far easier with enterprise systems like ERP or CRM. So whether you're using SysPro or Microsoft Nav, those types of programs, or Salesforce or NetSuite, we're able to talk to all those solutions. And while he showed DriveWorks Solo working inside of SolidWorks, with DriveWorks Pro, you can get to a point where you can expose your specification interface to non-technical staff. Could be to inside sales, and you could even get it deployed over the internet. So some of the images you see kind of represent the idea that you can go online for certain type of products to take advantage of DriveWorks Pro. Now, there's 3 websites that I want to show you or take you through, but the one thing I want to do right now is to, Lee, can I get you to show that layout application? Hello, Lee?
Yeah, I'm here, sorry, yeah.
Okay, so why don't I give you the layout application and then I'll take it over and take us home.
So yeah, I'll actually show two applications because I'll show you the. Are you going to show the conveyor one, John?
Yes, I will.
Oh, okay. All right, you can do that one. So yeah, we're inside
Hold on,
DriveWorks.
hold on,
Oh,
hold on. Okay, now you got it.
so right now we're inside of DriveWorks Pro. I'm not going to go over too much about the controls, but just to give you an idea, when you look over here on the left, we have all the same stuff that we had before. It's a very similar feel, but now we're able to have things like we're administrating users, we're controlling projects. We have much more advanced tables, a lot more documents we can export to, and we also have work specification flows, so we can create flows in your company. So a lot more stuff in the interface, a lot more power at your fingertips. And one of the big things, of course, is creating 3D previews and creating compelling and user-friendly 3D previews. So this is one that we built as a little example. The idea being you could do a little configuration off to the side and then click somewhere on the grid to place the part. So right now I'm going to do a cube. I'm going to use the first color in my list and I'm going to make it red, and I'm going to go through and place a few of them on the screen like you see here. So you can see I can zoom in and out, right? I can now go over and change from, say, a cube to, say, I want a curve, an inner curve. And as I press it, it rotates, right? So one of the other functions I have here to make this really snappy is I just have to keep pressing on the same part and it will rotate around. So this was a nice little way that we can build, neat little benches for people. We can do entire layouts outside. This is what this was for an outdoor layout application. And yeah, it's nice, it's fast, it's pretty quick. You can do it with your fingers on a phone. So yeah, we envision this being used, as you can see over here, I'm doing very simple configurations over here, but I could be doing much more complex ones if I wanted to. So we envision that you could have sub-projects or what we call child projects, where you're configuring an entire conveyor, or you're configuring, oh, I don't know, John, you spit out some names. Anything you want. They could be cranes, they could be buildings, they could be
It could be
all sorts of stuff.
layouts. We
Yeah.
talk a lot of companies that do layouts of furniture, conveyors, racking, anything and everything that follows the methodology of picking a product, configuring it, and then locating it, right? So when you're doing layouts, furniture it's tremendous what's happening in furniture, but I look at configurators all day long, and what I see happening is pretty incredible. But as I said, anything with layouts, we spoke with a company that does layouts of lab furniture, office furniture, any of those types of applications could use a system like this. Now, this obviously can be enhanced. There's other capabilities they can add to it, but the bottom line is, although it's in DriveWorks, this could be web-facing. This could be a tool that someone in inside sales could be working with, a customer.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's it here, right here, that if you want to see it in the web, this is what it looks like. And as I said, this was a demo, so we had a first page that we were working on for something else. But this is the page here. Whoops. This is the page here with the same application where we can lay out. Right now, the graphics present a little bit differently. We hadn't built it for live just yet, but the floor is black, and that's by default. But you can see it's the same concept. We were able to spin it, rotate it, and it's right now inside of a web browser. And this is the exact same technology that you're going to see in a second whenever it's based off of the big website here, driveworkslive.com. So these are fully functional. Everything you saw in Administrator and you saw in the live sort of personal website that DriveWorks gives you can also be embedded in your real-life website right here. Right? So there's full flexibility in how you want to use the program. You can use it in-house, just in Administrator, or you can use it in a private internal-facing web deployment, external web deployments, or embedded into your existing websites that are public-facing. It's very flexible. So.
Okay. Can I take that back now?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Lee. I appreciate that. So yeah, Lee is absolutely right. Not every company has to go to the web. Not every company has to have the full graphics. These configurators, if you've ordered a pizza lately, you can go online and have like images or just text to help you guide you through the process. So and some companies, they just need something for engineering just to get drawings out fast. So it really depends on what you need that'll establish what level of functionality you need to go to. As Lee mentioned, these are web-based, but these could be set up so that they run right inside of SolidWorks. So you've got full flexibility and control over where you want to go with this. So I'm going to basically click through this cupboard example because it shows a lot of different concepts of DriveWorks and CPQ, Configure Price Quote. These are publicly available websites, so take down the link or ask me for them and I'll give them to you, and you can start playing with them to see all the capabilities. Now, I like to show this one in particular because it shows a lot of different things, right? I like the idea that you can click on the click to rotate button and spin it around, zoom in, zoom out. You can take the doors off to have a closer look. So it's very graphical, and as Lee mentioned, we've got a couple of furniture companies that need this because they sell a graphical product. They want to show off the way it looks and have people give them an idea of what they're going to get. So the other aspect of this website is this interface is it's set up to show the cost. Right now, you can hit this button here to eliminate the detail, or you can just have it set up so that it doesn't show the cost at all. It's totally up to you. Now, there's multiple different ways you can change the way this cupboard looks. With DriveWorks Pro or Solo, you can have pull-down lists. So if you had every height from 3 feet to 4 feet in 1 inch increments, you can have a pull-down list. Or what I like to show people is I could simply click on this button and slide it all the way to the right. And two things happen when I do that. It changes its width and it updates the price. So although you can pick from lists, there's a number of different ways. You can just add a value. So let's go to 500 on the depth, right? Very responsive, highly graphical, very visual, and it's also controlled by rules. So if I pick 10,000, it will not let me go to 10,000. It'll stop at the default. Now, there are other ways you can handle that. You can show the upper and lower limits. You can have flashing lights. So there's a number of different ways you can manage that type of situation. The point is you can. So if you're concerned about people specifying something that you cannot make, DriveWorks has the ability to insert rules that allows you to make only what you can, specify only what you can make. So I'm going to just keep making changes. If you've noticed, the price has changed. Look what happens when I click on mahogany. It goes from $346 to $795. So if you're on a budget, or if you have a wanted to go for the mahogany for sure, but maybe you'll take something a little smaller, right? That'll cut down the price a couple of $100. So you see how flexible the system is. You can keep on making changes. Let's put a solid shaker door there. Let's change the handles on it to have a shaker knob, right? Let me go back. I like that glass one there. So you can keep changing as much as you like. And the one thing, if you're going to play with this website or try it, which I highly recommend, one of the things you'll notice already is that the quote has already been generated. Right, so as you've been making your selections, DriveWorks has been building the list of parts that go into the quote and the detail of the quote, and it's generated for you. So when we talk about fast quotes, I like to refer these as instant quotes, right? Not a lot of effort. You just click on a button and they're there for you. Same with the bill of materials. Right out of SolidWorks, it takes all the components that you've put into that document and it gets generated instantly and automatically, right? The other nice thing about this feature, this website, is if you wanted to actually, you're going to be my receiver, so let us know when you start getting these files. If you wanted to see the outputs, now this website is set up to generate all these documents, like all the parts and assembly drawings in PDF, cover letter, BOM, and quotation. We saw those already. DXF panels, so if you had sheet metal parts, we'd flatten them and give you the flat panels, and also the cut lists. So let me type in his name at javelintech.com, and I'll type in Javelin here. So I'm going to hit the send button at 2:47. Lee, if you could let us know when you get these. So what's going to happen here immediately is that you'll get the interface changes, and you'll see that all these documents are going to be created automatically by DriveWorks, the autopilot license with an attached license of SolidWorks. Now it's going to be generated by the DriveWorks server. This one in particular is located in the UK, but you can host them locally, or you can host this on Amazon if you like. But as you can see, all these images have already been created and are now being presented to you. And if he hasn't already got them, Lee will start getting the quote, the BOM.
Yeah, I just got it. Okay. I just got them. Yep. Took
about a minute. And so all these drawings are going to be heading over to his email inbox as well. And as I mentioned, if you want to improve your operation and automate a lot of tasks. One of the things that you don't see here, for example, is if you wanted to upload a BOM into your ERP system, you can do that at this stage. What most of our customers do is that they'll create a quotation and maybe a sales drawing, and then when that quote turns into an order, they'll go back into DriveWorks, hit the button, and push the auto-generate for all this documentation to be generated, because you likely don't need it during the sales process. And then you can start pushing data into ERP electronically. You can connect this to Salesforce, because Salesforce will allow you to generate new items if that variant doesn't exist. And actually, that's a good point. The one thing about DriveWorks is, unlike other systems, like ERP-based systems or T-shirts, for example, this cabinet and all the details of it did not have to exist. So we can create each of these variants, and it could be unlimited number of variants. We can create them as we go, or we can connect this model to a database and literally create them over the weekend, type of thing. So unlike other configurators where, for example, if you're picking a car, you pick a vehicle, you pick the color, transmission type, you don't have an unlimited number of choices on how to dress that car up. Whereas with this cupboard and other products that you make on DriveWorks, those configurations do not have to exist. DriveWorks will create them for you. Did you want to add something to that, Lee?
No, I think you covered it all.
Okay. Did you get all those files?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I got them all.
Okay. I think it's just this last one, that assembly drawing, that's not ready yet. But give it a couple more seconds. Actually, let's go to the next. Let's go to the next example. So this one is a real nice example. As I said, you can go on the website, configure my product. There are 4 examples there, and the reason for explaining this is because if you do not go and enter your inputs, like your contact details, you won't see that the system will do all this for you, right? So I just wanted to point that out. Here's another example of a 3D website based on DriveWorks, a live website, a live business. So this one is for phone cases. So a lot of companies like to offer customized products. And for this one, once I've selected the phone type, it'll launch DriveWorks, a DriveWorks interface, and you'll be able to see, oh, they've added the phone, changes that I can make to this. So let's see if I could change the bumper style and have that update. Let's change the pattern. Click on the rotated pattern, see what that looks like. Oh, maybe wrong bumper style. It's not working the way I want. Okay, bottom line is, once you've made some of the changes to this, oh, here, there it is. So it's made the updates. So you see that it just took a little while there. I could go in and change the color. Let's make that Geel. There you go. Pretty quick, pretty responsive. Let's make another change. Let's add some text on there. Oops. Might take a little while. Hasn't come up. Okay. There you go. I think that other one was a little too long. So there's a customization. Now the one thing about this, it's a live business, so I can hit this button and I can place an order for it. So demonstrates how you can create a shopping cart type of situation to support e-commerce. And the other beautiful thing is that with this company, they'll send that file that was just created, that 3D model in an STL format, to a 3D printer, print it on the 3D printer, put it in a box, and mail it to your door. So this company is in the Netherlands, but I like this website because it shows how we've merged technologies such as configurators and 3D printers. We're looking forward to the metal printers as well, so that if someone's making small gears or those types of components, you can merge the two technologies. So pretty interesting. Here's another one that I wanted to show. So you saw the conveyor example in DriveWorks Solo, and now I'm going to show it in DriveWorks Pro. We're kind of running out of time, so I'll go real fast. So here's an application where you're doing this conveyor on the internet. So I can click that button to rotate, just like I did the other site. I can start adding sections. So let's see if I can add a section here. It'll do it live and in real time. I'll set that up as a straight section so that the angle goes away, and now I can enter a value for straight, so I have the overall length. Let's say I want to change some of the accessories, and let's say I want to take the side rails off. Now, this site as well shows the cost, so if you can see the cost down here, if I take these side rails off by clicking that button, it drops the price from $15,782 to $15,382. So you're getting that basically the idea that you're connecting quoting to design. This type of interface could be put in the hands of someone in inside sales or in engineering. Some companies are putting this into their hands of their dealers, qualified, trained dealers. Most of our customers will give their dealers a login and a password, so the system knows who they are. They keep track of all the quotes they're presenting or generating. They know what their discount rates are. They know what shipping rates are. They know exchange rates, and So you can build a lot of intelligence into the system and really amp up your business, especially if you deal with a lot or work with a lot of dealers. And so it has enabled our customers to do that quite effectively. So those are 3 websites. You know, it's getting close to 3 o'clock. So let me just. Do you want to add anything to that, Lee? Before I.
No, just that if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me through John. We're happy to support you guys and any demos of Solo that you want to take up. So
yeah, let's do some wrap-up slides. So we showed DriveWorks Express inside of SolidWorks. DriveWorks Solo is the first paid version. It works inside of SolidWorks as well. DriveWorks Pro can work inside of SolidWorks, but it does enable you to go to the web if you want to get to that level of functionality and capability. We showed these 3 websites. If you want to see 30 more, give me a call or go to driveworkslive.com or configure my product. I'll send you those links. The message, so when you create a new design and generate a cost, it's because you've connected your design to your ERP system and you've connected to your costing systems. We want to send you the message that you can connect DriveWorks to virtually any ERP system that has a basis in SQL for its data. We can connect through cloud or on-premise systems, anything that's got a SQL background or ODBC compliant databases. We have a real tight integration with Syspro and with Salesforce. So there's a clip that we can show you how we can create a new item and opportunities inside of Salesforce. So very capable of connecting and sharing data. Some of the main benefits of DriveWorks real quickly. So automate repetitive tasks. So instead of doing the same as but slightly different, the whole idea is to automate that and not just the design, but also the drawings, flat patterns, cut lists, bombs, anything and everything that's done with SolidWorks can be automated. Get your engineers working on developing new products and new markets. The fellows at Thornton were able to thrive and get their products into different markets, and because they were able to automate the bearing assemblies for marine bearings. And that's a very common theme. Benefits of integrating and automating. We like to automate as many tasks as possible. So the beauty of the system is that you can connect it, and a lot of tasks can be automated, all the costing, the generation of all these documents. And you know, in talking to people on a day-to-day basis, I connect with as many sales and marketing people as I do with engineering people. So sales and marketing people are always looking to grow business, increase sales, get people to their website, have a unique competitive advantage, and so this type of technology is very, very of a high interest for those types of folks. In terms of the next big thing, we're working with companies. So we have a partner company to Javelin that is involved in virtual reality and augmented reality, and we've seen a real increase in the number of applications where you can put that desk inside of your room. And or one of our customers built an application where instead of taking a huge piece of equipment to a trade show, spending tens of thousands of dollars, they've developed a model and use augmented reality to take a look at all the features of the machine as if it was there. So these are the things that we're looking at with DriveWorks to support these types of applications. And as I mentioned before, a lot of times the engineering manager is the last person in a company I'll speak with, because people in sales and marketing and operations and IT managers and owners of businesses that want to grow are looking to find ways that will streamline operations and allow them to sell to more people and do that effectively. So we appreciate any referrals that you have of people in your organization to do these types of jobs. There's a whole bunch of YouTube videos that we've created. Lee's doing Talk to the Tech Guy sessions, and we've got all these demo websites, so please reach out to us if you need more information. Feel free to pitch out a question. We got a couple here. So our ERP system has a configurator. What's the difference between that type of system and DriveWorks? Okay. So most ERP systems do have configurators, but from the ones I've seen, most of the systems utilize static images, so they'll create pictures, and in some cases that's fine, but for some businesses where you need that element of a visual presentation, people like to see or need to have the ability to have a model that they can look at and spin it around or take a close look and take a look at the fabric, see what that looks like in their room. And the level of integration with DriveWorks is second to none. It was built to drive SolidWorks, and so so one of the things I'd say is in terms of ERP integration, we've got the ability to develop these very powerful, very graphic websites to be the front end, but we can also support the back end. So if you have developed a configurator and you want to push the values of a given length or whatever, push it into SolidWorks, we still can be a solution because we could fit DriveWorks in between ERP, CRM, and SolidWorks, so you get the best of both worlds. Any other questions? Don't see any. Okay. All right. Well, listen. Thank you very much for your time. It's 3 o'clock. Thanks for sticking around with us for an hour. Greatly appreciate your time. Lee, thanks for your efforts. Appreciate it. If anybody wants to have a follow-on conversation, here's our contact details, and we'll be following up with you following this. For those of you in the Brampton area, we have a live event, a lunch and learn event next Wednesday at noon in Brampton. So check out our website, register. We can send you the links, and if you want to join us, it's a 3-hour session, more in depth. We get into the hood a little bit more. We talk about other applications, and we have one of our customers presenting himself, and we have one of our ERP partners presenting as well. So if you are able to spend some more time with us next Wednesday and are close to Brampton, we encourage you to attend. So thanks again for your time, and if you got any questions, please feel free to get a hold of Lee or myself. Thanks again, and have a great day.